U.S. Space Force just tested a weapon that defies physics. A mysterious launch. On a quiet, cloudless night in the Nevada desert, a classified payload was launched into orbit by the U.S. Space Force. But this wasn't just another satellite. Eyewitnesses and insiders suggest it was a weapons test, something far beyond conventional understanding. Rumors began swirling across defense forums and within the scientific community. The U.S. had just tested a weapon that appeared to defy the laws of physics. Within hours, amateur satellite trackers reported unusual movements, a metallic object accelerating in space in a way that shouldn't be possible. No fuel trails, no propulsion signatures, just sudden movement that left observers stunned. What exactly was tested? How is it possible for an object in space to accelerate without visible thrust? And is this a leap into science fiction, or the birth of a new era of space warfare? The U.S. Space Force's secretive mission. Formed in December 2019, the U.S. Space Force is the newest and arguably most secretive branch of the American military. While its public role involves satellite protection, communications, and space domain awareness, its classified programs are said to push the boundaries of aerospace, physics, and even energy weaponry. The recent test, known internally as Project Thor's Spear, is reportedly part of the Space Force's Rapid Capabilities Office. Although the Pentagon has refused to comment, leaked memos and whistleblower tips describe an experimental weapon that uses field-based propulsion, something that doesn't rely on chemical fuel or even ion thrusters. A weapon that moves without propellant? The central claim: the object tested was able to change velocity and direction in orbit without any form of known propulsion. Traditional space maneuvering relies on Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Rockets expel mass backward to move forward. But Project Thor's Spear didn't do that. No heat signature, no visible exhaust, no expelled mass. And yet, observers tracked it accelerating, turning, and stabilizing mid-orbit. The implications? This would mean the object somehow bent the rules of motion in space. If confirmed, this could be the first publicly observed demonstration of field propulsion, a theoretical method involving manipulating gravitational, electromagnetic, or inertial fields to generate thrust. The science behind field propulsion. Field propulsion is a concept explored for decades, especially by NASA's Breakthrough Propulsion Physics program. The idea is to move spacecraft not by pushing off something, but by warping the space around them, similar to how magnets move objects without contact or how the theoretical Alcubierre warp drive manipulates spacetime. One such concept is the M-drive, a controversial microwave propulsion system that creates thrust without ejecting mass. While mainstream science remains skeptical, tests in vacuum chambers have hinted at micronewton-level thrust, possibly through quantum effects or exotic physics. Now imagine a military version of that, scaled up and refined through years of black-budget research. That's what some believe the Space Force just demonstrated. Weaponized warp? Not quite, but close. Calling it a warp drive might be a stretch, but this weapon may rely on inertial manipulation, the ability to alter an object's resistance to acceleration. If you can control inertia, you can effectively move a craft with very little energy. The strategic advantages are enormous. Silent movement. No heat, no trail, undetectable by conventional radar. Instant repositioning. Ideal for space-based missile interception or rapid surveillance. Evasive capabilities. Impossible to hit with traditional anti-satellite weapons. Weaponizing this isn't just about speed, it's about battlefield dominance. Imagine a drone or satellite that can dodge kinetic kill vehicles, target hypersonic missiles from orbit, or disable enemy systems with precision energy pulses, all without being seen or tracked. Eyewitness account. Whistleblower speaks. An anonymous engineer, who claims to work with a Space Force contractor in Colorado Springs, told investigative reporters, "We've been working on exotic propulsion since at least 2015. The idea isn't new. What's new is control. We figured out how to generate a localized inertial bubble. It's not stable for long, maybe a few seconds, but that's enough to move. You wouldn't believe the math involved." The engineer also hinted at power systems derived from zero-point energy or advanced nuclear microreactors. While impossible to independently verify, their statements align with recent U.S. patent filings from military contractors, including Lockheed Martin and Boeing, that reference mass reduction systems, gravity shielding, and high-energy vacuum field propulsion. Strategic implications: a new space race. If the U.S. has figured this out, other superpowers are already watching closely. China's own Space Force has recently increased its classified launches, and Russia has resumed work on its plasma pulse propulsion program, shelved since the 1990s. What's at stake is not just space superiority but space dominance. Whoever controls this tech controls the orbit above every battlefield. From communications to navigation to real-time weapon strikes, a nation with field-propelled satellites could cripple another's entire defense infrastructure. And unlike nukes or hypersonics, this weapon leaves no trace. It moves unseen, acts instantly, and is impossible to defend against, unless you have your own version. Skeptics and counterpoints. Many physicists are skeptical. Dr. Ethan Caldwell, a propulsion expert at MIT, called the reports technically fascinating but scientifically dubious. We've seen similar claims for decades: cold fusion, EM drives, anti-gravity machines. But nothing's ever scaled. I'm not saying it's impossible, just that extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. Others warn of misinterpretation. Could it be a decoy, a classified kinetic interceptor, or even a balloon-based illusion? Still, the data, especially tracking logs shared by amateur satellite observers, suggests something genuinely strange occurred. The future of warfare in orbit. This test, if confirmed, changes everything. Not just how we move in space, but how we fight in it. Traditional space assets are vulnerable. They're slow, predictable, and easy to target. A weapon that defies classical motion laws is the ultimate first strike asset. Final thoughts. A leap into the unknown. Whether it truly defies physics or simply uses physics we don't yet fully understand, the U.S. Space Force has signaled a new chapter in military evolution. Just as stealth, drones, and cyber warfare changed the battlefield in the past 30 years, field-based propulsion could redefine space combat in the next 10. We're standing on the edge of something transformative, something once relegated to the pages of science fiction. A weapon that doesn't burn, roar, or explode, but simply moves, silently, impossibly, unstoppably. Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.